Morning, everybody. I was just going to do a quick summary of the Democratic convention, day one, night one, I guess we should call it. Technically, it was late at night for those of us on the West Coast. I wonder how many Democrats stayed up late just to watch all the excitement of the Democratic, and I'll get back to that word excitement here in a little bit. But so I watched it all. The other thing I did last night is I did something almost nobody does. I read the 80-page Democratic platform. Now, how many conservatives do you know that actually reads the Democratic and the Republican platform? Well, I'm one of the weird ones, and I'll share it with you in a minute. But here's my bullet points from last night, in no particular order, by the way. No energy. It's just calm, very calm. And I wonder if that's strategic. When you watch the Trump presidency, I think sometimes of a ricochet ball, ping, ping, ping. It goes from, Trump jumps on every controversy. In fact, Brett Hume has raised that issue last night, and I think he's right that Trump ought to pick his fights and pick them better, because he just jumps on every controversy. So maybe Americans are tired of that, and Democrats have picked up on that, and they want to exude a calm. And that's what you saw last night. Unlike Democratic conventions where everybody running around in stupid hats and stupid outfits and yelling and celebrating and blowing horns and stuff, you saw none of that. It was all calm. So nobody out in the streets, out in front. Of course, there's no front to the convention center anymore. So where do you go show up and protest if you want to protest the convention? Second item, Biden is perfect. You can tell all this is pre-recorded. In fact, there's a controversy on Obama's speech because you notice there's no mention of Kamala. And people are saying, why did she leave Kamala out? Was it on purpose or something? Most astute observers are saying this was recorded a week and a half ago. And this is all pre-recorded, pre-packaged. This is a packaged convention. You're not seeing live convention coverage. And Biden seems not real, right? Is he real? Is this a robot that's put up? And why is that? Well, all of his words are perfect. They seem to be scripted. Are they? I think so. I think they're scripted. So what are they talking about? Race, the virus, and economics. So they picked their subjects. I think they have got to be hoping that both the virus and economics stays in bad shape through the election. You can see that through the subjects they talked about last night. And they would hope that the race issues are still around, because those seem to be the subjects they talked about. What did you not see? The Democratic platform. They finished it. My download says draft on it. I don't know where that changes from draft to final, but the platform's all put together. The committee is all come. They're all done. And but what did you see mentioned of the platform? Did you see that they were going to put 500,000 new electric charging stations in the U.S. as part of the infrastructure? No, you didn't see it. It's exciting news, right? I mean, wow, all you electric car owners that paid $60,000 for a Tesla, the Democrats are going to help you out. So the platform is hidden. Maybe the biggest point of the night, and the thing I want to point out on the platform specifically, it is Bernie Sanders' moment. He's not at the top of the platform, but as a good friend of mine said, there's a puppet at the presidency right now, and somebody's got his hands right up his rear end. and controlling it. And if you see the platform, it's Bernie Sanders' moment. In fact, Wall Street Journal says Bernie Sanders actually said on Sunday on NBC Meet the Press. But I think if people look at the outcome of those task forces, that's the platform task forces, they'll find the reality that if those task force proposals are implemented, you know what? Joe Biden will become the most progressive president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So and a little bit later, it says, Mr. Biden has no clearly defined agenda of his own. Can you think of a single idea or proposal that is distinctly his? He has absorbed what his party wants, and the Biden-Sanders manifesto reflects that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Can you think of a single thing that, President Joe Biden, that wants to be President Joe Biden, has said as an idea? It becomes Bernie Sanders' moment, and he won't be at the top of the ticket. I think he's done as far as that is gone, is his age, but it's his moment. And last bullet I'd like to point out, there are no reporters, nobody asking questions. The convention is now closed off. We don't get any spur of the moment questions with answers and get to dissect those answers and try to see what's going on. Journalists are not a part of it anymore. Journalists should have been protesting this, but they weren't. So a few other points. Obviously, it was all taped, and I think taped at least a week ago. Very careful. Everything's approved. Everything's scripted. And you saw, and they tried to show you Republicans have converted over. Kasich, a guy that can't get a platform anymore, right? So the only platform you get is from the Democrats, and that's what he got. So, by the way, Michelle Obama, I thought was very good. Very good. She is a very good speaker. Democrats love her. Her popularity rate is, in the 80% around the world. I mean, she's very, they should have paid a lot of money for that speech in my mind. So let's go through the platform, because I have a feeling many of you will never go through this platform. So I've just pulled out, there is literally, probably I could have bullet pointed 300 items out of the platform. It is a catch-all. By the way, I was thinking about the platform last night and who could have written the platform and who couldn't have written the platform. And I think you'll find my observations interesting. First of all, Republicans could have wrote this platform. We know this platform. We've heard it time and time again because we've watched the entire spectrum of the Democratic Party. So we could have written it. Could Democrats have written it? No. Not any single one Democrat. They couldn't have written. You have to pull all the disparate parties together to write this platform. And I don't think any one Democrat could have written it. But it's an interesting platform. COVID-19 vaccines and tests for free. Vaccines for free. How are they going to do that? They want to expand unemployment to contractors, gig workers, part-time people. They want, and by the way, tipped workers. So they want to expand unemployment to everybody. Okay. By the way, housing is a right. A federal minimum to $15 an hour nationwide. They want high-speed rail. Their greatest Democrat out in California can't make this happen. Too expensive. Even his own state rejected him. And they want to transform Amtrak. One of the biggest failures we have, except for a small route in Washington, D.C. that makes money, every other piece of it is a mess. But they want to transform Amtrak again. They're going to make this work. Farms to achieve net zero emissions. We'll see what the farmers have to say about that. By the way, they want to support NASA and NASA space program and including moon travel. No mention of Space Force. I thought that was interesting. But the very thing Trump has supported, Obama's tore apart in the space program, really did, and they want to now support it. I thought that was pretty interesting. They're supporting the Republicans. They want to provide Section 8 housing to every eligible family. By the way, so you know it, Section 8 housing. I had a unit that was Section 8. The rent was normally about $1,250. The person paid a little over $100 a month. So effectively, they want to provide almost free housing to everybody that is eligible. And right now, there's a waiting list for. They would have to provide a lot of houses to catch up to Section 8. They want to reverse the Trump tax cuts. They want to tax the wealthiest. They want to tax corporations again. They want to go back after them. They want to tax investors. Big deal there. And they want to raise estate taxes. No surprise there, right? Are you shocked? They want to federalize the credit reporting agencies. If you go through this, you'll see they want to increase government, right? In spite of what you may hear them say, can you imagine taking over the credit reporting agencies? Can you imagine when they start biasing these credit reporting agencies around different segments of the population, right? Which they identity groups, right? So they want to give equal pay for women. Not sure how they're going to do that. They want to have universal health care. Now, here's an interesting point. This is where Bernie didn't win. He was supposed to win to get Medicare for all, and they've approached Medicare for all really close to it, but not gotten there. It's one area that Bernie Sanders did not win in the platform. But they want a public option that has no deductible, no copays, right? That's free, right? And they say just like Medicare. No, it's not like Medicare. I'm on Medicare. Medicare, you have to buy a supplemental plan to cover what Medicare doesn't cover. Everybody knows Medicare covers 80%, except I think maybe Democrats that keep saying just like Medicare. By the way, they want you to get Medicare at age 60, not 6. They don't want you to wait 65. And by the way, you can get Medicare at 60 in the platform, even if you're still working. So you can get off the employment plan and get on the government plan, even if you're still working, not retired. Okay. The Indian, they're going to fix everything on the Indian reservations. They're going to provide water for them all. They're going to provide power for them all. And they're going to fix the Indian health services, which nobody's been able to do forever. And by the way, providing water and power, anybody that knows anything about Indian reservations, families live in pods miles from each other. And providing water for them is a real challenge because they don't want to live in communities as such. And they want to live out long ways from each other. So very difficult, very expensive. I've even helped as part of the Rotary group to provide power. Very difficult to do. You provide water for a pod of 3 or 4 people, and it costs thousands and thousands of dollars, and all you've helped is 3 families. So, by the way, they're supporting Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Isn't that interesting? Remember all the screaming and yelling, how catastrophic that would be? Now they support it. Dramatically reduce the amount of people in jails and stop incarcerating what they call kids, right? What they mean is 18, 19, 20-year-olds. They want them out of jails. No use of military equipment by police. I wonder if there's a policy to claw those back. Most police forces have them now. Are they going to go and say, we'll do a buyback? Remember the buyback on guns? So, by the way, I support that. I never did like the use of military equipment by the police. No private prisons. Take all those private detention centers, prisons back. Again, back to government control. Court justices must support Roe versus Wade. There's the litmus test. No question about that litmus test. You can't be a Democrat unless you're pro-abortion, period. They've made it real clear. Guns, universal background checks, the ban assault weapons, high capacity magazines are pulled out, red flag laws, must have gun safes, and you got to make gun manufacturers liable. So very strict gun control. 80% of students have free college education at public universities. Net zero emissions by year 2050. Going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. There's a surprise for you, right? They're going to retrofit 4 million buildings to be emissions free. 4 million buildings. And all new buildings have to be emissions free, right? Voting, no purging of rolls, no IDs, vote by mail, auto registration, and election day is a holiday. So I try to think. I've gone through the high points of what I saw in the Democratic platform, and I hope this gives you a peek into that platform that many of you will never see. I don't think you'll see that platform mentioned much the rest of the convention, but we'll see. So far, first night, almost nothing about the platform. It's all about Trump. And they've taken an anti-Trump stand, and it may work for them. They projecting calm and anti-Trump, the exact opposite what Trump is. That's their platform. Okay, just think about that. But behind the scenes, there's an 80-page platform that you really need to see. That, in my belief, so far, they've done a good job in hiding from you, because it has socialist earmarks of Bernie Sanders, and they don't want you to see that. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe later today I'll catch up with the actual Wall Street Journal and dissect the Wall Street Journal. Have a great day. Cheers.